So a while ago, Volition decided to do one of the dumbest things that a company could do in a while, and that is hype up the return of a pretty much dead franchise, a beloved dead franchise, Saints Row. And they thought it would be a good idea by teasing people with the idea that they would go back to their roots, specifically Saints Row 1, 2, and 3. And a lot of people obviously would want something more of Saints Row 2. But the way that Volition promoted this reveal was to put out an image of a brick wall with graffiti on it that clearly resembled the old Saints Row games. And understandably so, a lot of people were hyped and thought that they would go back to, as they had said, their roots. They said this a while ago, they had done streams and so on and so forth. A lot of people had figured that there'd be no way they would fuck this up, me included. But not long after the teased image, there was a CGI trailer, and it definitely was not received well at all. And maybe a collective few were optimistic about it, or oddly very hyped about it. But the reality is that the reboot, the trailer, the information, everything we got so far is not what a lot of people want in a new Saints Row game. Or rather, not what a lot of people would have wanted. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure if you look back on some people's channels or posts or anything like that on what they would have wanted in a new Saints Row game, whether it be a reboot or Saints Row 5, it would be nothing like the Saints Row reboot. And that is a fact. No one wanted what this reboot is, unless you are a completely new fan coming into this whole thing fresh. And oddly enough, a lot of these people who are coming to this game fresh are rather defensive on social media. Say anything negative about these people, if you say anything negative, you can say anything about them. If you say anything negative about this reboot that has not come out yet, they will come at you full force, acting like maniacs, pretty much. I'm not sure if they're as bad as the AEW cultists out there, but nonetheless, these people are fucking weirdos. That's what it is, and Volition are clearly catering to these weirdos. And wouldn't surprise me if Volition employs a lot of fucking weirdos. And if you don't think the game is for these weirdos, then, well, look at how they've been promoting the game, what they've been showing, and how they've been going about promoting the game through interviews or articles and so on and so forth. It's very clear, unless you've been living under a rock, or your hands are over your ears or over your eyes, or you're just basically one of the people who feeds into the agenda. Now, this agenda that I speak of comes in a number of different forms. One of them being the little flags that you can have going around for the small group of people that seek validation for their lives, and different clothing colors and different designs for your vehicles and whatnot, and your weapons that are very much obvious. And what I'm talking about is the LGBTQ plus XYZ whatever bullshit community that apparently is very loving and caring and accepts who they are and wants to be treated equally, but they will chastise you any second that they can if you don't agree, or if you just want something for fun. You don't care about the other bullshit. And speaking as a gay guy, I don't care about this representation bullshit. I don't care. It's not needed. Especially when it's forced and when there's an agenda being had. And that's usually what it has become over the last number of years, 10 years or so, maybe even more. But nothing is really genuine anymore. A lot of it is just virtual signaling bullshit to get a certain crowd of people to buy whatever it is, just whatever company is trying to sell you. And that's what it is. A lot of these people are being used as a marketing tool. You are there being represented to get more buys. They want more people to consume it in order to profit off of it. It's not hard to understand, because the funny thing is that a lot of these other companies that are trying to push this bullshit have done it before, but in an organic way, because they never made a big deal out of it. It was there. If you saw it was there, alright, it's there. You noticed that it was there. And if you didn't notice it was there, then it's no big deal. It doesn't matter. It's never a big focus on what they're doing. But nowadays, these companies just can't help themselves. They gotta make sure you know that there's trans characters, there's trans flags and designs, and you can make a drag queen character and all this other bullshit that doesn't matter. When I buy a game or any form of entertainment, I want it to be fun and interesting. But in the case of a game, I want it to be fun. I want it to be interesting. I want to know what the features are. I don't care if there's trans characters. I don't care if there's gay characters. I don't care if there's white characters, black characters. I don't give a fuck. If it's interesting and it looks good, that's what I want, and that's what I want to know. Sell me on what's in the game that's actually important. I don't care about this thing or that thing. That doesn't matter. But we know that these companies want to push this agenda, want to push all these little marketing tools over everything else. And the funny thing is, they try to push all this shit, and then the product ends up being shit because it's so focused on pleasing a small group of people that at the end of the day does not buy their shit. It's happened before. Most of these woke bullshit shows, movies, books, games, what have you, that they try to shove down everyone's throats ends up failing. Why? Because the people who really are interested in that shit don't want it. You're trying to sell it to people who just want to talk on social media like hyenas, because they got nothing else better to do with their lives. They need validation every 24/7, every day of their life, 24/7. They want to play a professional victim constantly. They wake up to find something to be mad about, find someone to cancel, find someone to be mad about, find someone to dig up information, a little shit from their past as if they're saints when clearly it's obvious that they're not. And it turns out they're fucking weirdos. All the time. Whether they're being a pedophile or whatever. Just some fucking weirdo motherfuckers on the internet always trying to fuck with people. Won't leave no one alone. And that's exactly what these companies are trying to cater to. These weirdos that won't leave no one alone. That's why when you criticize this reboot, you got these fucking weirdos. Just look at their profiles, look at the About Me section, look at their fucking profile picture, their name, whatever. They are weirdos. That's what they are. They're catering to these people. It is not for sane individuals. It is not for the OG fans. It is for a new breed of fucking weirdos that at the end of the day probably won't buy the bullshit. They just want to scream and holler as if they're important. And because these companies are such pussies, they feel like they control everything. That's one of the reasons why I get fucking annoyed with the LGBT, whatever the fuck bullshit community. Because gay or not, I ain't part of your dumbass little community because you keep fucking everything up. You can't just act fucking normal and leave people the fuck alone and enjoy something. Maybe create something of your own if people really want it that badly. Care for that, people. People in companies just gotta ruin shit. They can't help themselves. That's where we're at with this reboot. And that's why it's probably gonna fail. Maybe. Who knows? Look at the characters, look at the world. The world, this is a fucking big ass desert of a whole lot of nothing. Watch it be a whole lot of nothing, because it always is. They always gotta promote this biggest world ever created. We've been there, done that, tired of that shit, done to death. They actually promote features that actually worth a damn, that's actually revolutionary, groundbreaking, or actually worth promoting for once. Listen, man, this desert location bullshit is just to make the map bigger than what it is. A whole lot of empty space of nothing. That's all it is. That's usually what it is. There's a reason why people are saying it looks like Just Cause. Shit looks like Life is Strange, Watch Dogs 2, Fortnite. Which one you want to choose that it looks like? Because it looks like it's inspired by all those games. The characters look weak. They look weak as fuck. If you think they look strong, then you're probably weak yourself. They look like they'll be hanging out at Starbucks with the MacBooks. Both hands sipping on their lattes. They look weak. Come on. They look tough to you. They look like gang members. They really do. They look like college students. I can see why they wouldn't. I can see why Volition would have these characters as college students. They basically are that, especially modern students. This looks like for a modern audience. It looks like it's for a modern audience. I get it. I get what you're saying. The characters look like something out of a CW show, Netflix adaptation of Saints Row. It looks really, really bad. And people can pretend that it looks really good, and the characters are very intimidating and interesting. These character designs look awful. They do. The gangs that you're going up against look more like Saints Row characters, or better yet, the Saints, opposed to the Saints that we're getting in this reboot. At least that you're getting. I'm like, but they don't look intimidating. They're not interesting. The dialogue, from what's been shown, looks bad. No one finds it weird. On top of all this, no one finds it weird that the preview that came out not long ago, it's the developers talking over footage. It's basically a little presentation of the game. No one was given a build of the game. No one was sent out to the studio to play a build, a near complete build of the game. Does that not seem like a little alarming to anyone at all? Considering this game comes out late August, this game was even delayed for months. Wasn't it supposed to come out in February? And they're doing this stuff? No one finds it weird that these people who are excited for this reboot will go apeshit on anyone on social media, online, if you say anything bad about the game. That doesn't seem like people who are somewhat concerned about the game. And it should be concerned because the game looks really average. It looks average as fuck. It does. It does not look like a game that's coming out 2022. Honestly, it looks like a game that would come out in 2016. And that's me being generous. Graphically, it doesn't look that great. It looks better than the other Saints Row games, but that's not saying much, and it should.
Give me a break.
Saints Row 4, it came out almost 10 years ago, 2014, 13, whatever. When it came out, it should look better than that. It should. It looks like it's using reused assets from Saints Row 3. I'm pretty sure it's using reused assets from Agents of Mayhem. It looks lazy, just bland, uninspired, just sloppy. The reality is that the Volition of old is gone. Most of the people who used to be in that team ain't there anymore. They are ashamed of Saints Row. They want nothing to do with the old Saints Row games. It's pretty obvious that they don't. I mean, they made Agents of Mayhem. That was the next game after Saints Row. Their new IP was Agents of Mayhem. Now, unless that was something that Deep Silver told them to make, or had a lot of say-so on how the game would shape up, then alright, that's different. But if that was entirely Volition call, then that lets you know where their minds are at. They don't care about Saints Row. They are ashamed of the old Saints Row games. They made that clear in interviews, and you can even see it. This new direction, this does not scream Saints Row 2 or 3 or any form of Saints Row. This is not meant for old fans, barely, if anything. This is made for a new audience. Look at the trailers. Read between the lines. Look at how they're promoting it. It's very obvious what they're doing. It's very obvious what agenda they're trying to push. Look at other companies like Naughty Dog, BioWare. Those companies, for example. Look at the direction they have went with their company and their games. It is very clear. This is another company that has bent over. They have bent over to the far left. They bent over to play politics, to play identity politics, to inject their views into a game where originally before they weren't doing that shit. Because now everything has to be political. They have to put their views into everything. Anyone who disagrees or questions it is a mean, bad villain that needs to be shut down. These people don't deserve your support. They don't deserve your money. They don't deserve your business. They don't deserve your attention. Let them fail, because that's what's going to happen. Oddly enough, it always seems to happen. Because they don't know what they're doing. They think they do, they try to tell you that they do, but they don't. They don't want to listen to no one. They had all this time to listen to people and what they wanted. They even said it themselves. We would listen to the fans and all this other shit. Going back to our roots. That reboot looks nothing like their roots. Doesn't resemble anything at all in Saints Row. Barely. It's Saints Row in name. It doesn't sound like, doesn't look like they listen to anything but corporate execs and weirdos online that don't care about the game. That's probably not gonna play it. But let them fail. Let them see what happens. See if that snarky little attitude that they want to have online pays off. Speak with your wallet and have some self-control and just not support it. Move on. Unfortunately, I hate to say it about a beloved series, but yeah, I think it's time for Saints Row fans, for the fans, to move on. It ain't worth it. It's not coming back to what it used to be. This game needs, if you don't want Saints Row to get fucked over more than it already has, the reboot has to fail. If it doesn't, alright, fine, good for them. But these woke companies need to go, need to learn. People don't want this shit. There's a reason why a lot of the woke shit usually fails. Because people, at the end of the day, don't want it. It's a select group of people, it's for virtual signaling points, and that's it. It doesn't sell in the long run, and it shows. And that's probably what's going to happen with the reboot. And I would not be sad or disappointed if it failed. I'm hoping it does. I guess all we can do right now is see how this train wreck turns out. But I have no faith or any good intentions on this one. So hopefully it fails. This abomination is put to bed, and we can move on and just say R.I.P. Saints Row. It's been fun while it lasted, but yeah.
I don't understand what's going on here.